What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So let's have a chat about IBC because I had a couple of things that, happened on Twitter where I push a burn tax and talking about how the burn tax is amazing to see. Um, and if we see an increased burn tax, that would be a better situation. And a lot of people disagree because, the 1.2% burn tax didn't work. We gave it 3 weeks to live and it didn't work apparently. So I talk about the burn tax a lot and people think that I'm completely against IBC. I'm not. You got to understand that you can do multiple things. It's just whether certain D apps may struggle or not. That's really the question. So, am I against IBC? No. Let's talk about it. Let's have a discussion of what it will do and, what my expectations are. But it's not going to be like where we're blowing the burns, out of the water, where we're seeing the burns now and we're seeing 150x whatever these burns are now or something like that, which we can see with an increased burn tax as well as seeing all the utility that's on. However, it all depends on how many D apps will be affected. So anyways, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more videos like this one. Also, make sure you guys check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter at Perry8K, you can follow me over there. I'm almost at 14,000 followers, which is absolutely amazing to be able to see that type of growth. I'm happy. I'm not verified yet. I do have Twitter Blue, but I haven't gotten a verified check mark yet, which it doesn't really matter at this point. I don't expect to be verified. I would love to be verified at like 100,000 followers, which I'm nowhere near. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at 13.9K followers. So again, I posted a couple of things related to Terra Luna Classic, and I want to try and find where that is. And I feel as though people a lot of people didn't really like it. There's a lot of people that did like it and said, hey, we need to increase the burn tax because the burns are not really working right now. And people are saying, wait until utility comes on, 0.2% will burn so much more. However, 0.2% is, I believe, too little of a burn percentage in order to see all the impact that we want to see, right? It's going to take not only like 2 years, but it may take 5 years or 10 years for all of this to play out. And it all depends how popular a lot of the utility ends up being, because investors have to spend their Lunic wherever they're going to have the option to spend it. So the utility, like say if there was a store to where I had to buy a product, it depends on how many people come into the store and buy that product. That's how many dollars you're going to have and how much 0.2% you're going to have that comes out of that revenue. So it's the same thing here with all of this utility. So again, I posted something on Twitter a while ago that got a pretty decent amount of likes, but there's a lot of people that may be against it, and it's okay. Where we talk about this 3%, and right now at the pace we're at right now, it could take 100 years depending on what the utility is. But right now, in this case, it's going to take a hell of a long time for us to burn off all of the supply. And this is including the Binance burn, which might not include the Binance burn in the future. So with that being said, a lot of people were like, hey, IBC is going to be big, creating a lot of utility for the chain. And you should be focused on that. We're all focused on the fact that we need more utility. And the main problem that I have with that is that that is the full adoption of the like Shiba Inu route. And not saying like Shiba Inu was choosing to go this route. It was the ecosystem devs that did all this utility, didn't provide much in burns because people didn't go out and utilize those areas, whether it's the metaverse or Bone or Leash. There are people that support Bone, but even if it doesn't support Shiba Inu in the end. Now, this will be different to where everything finds a way to have some sort of burn because it's happening on chain. That's great. Absolutely great. But the problem is that why can't we do both? Now, the one argument that comes up why we can't do both is because certain DApps wouldn't be able to survive with a 3% burn or 1% burn or anything higher than 0.2% burn. And I feel like the way we're looking at it, we are satisfying the few and sacrificing the many. You know, there may be a lot of DApps that can function off of that because you just have a simple transaction. And I don't know what DApps we're talking about. I've been trying to get an understanding as to which ones would have difficulty with multiple transactions, and I'm not getting any bites. So if you have any type of detail on which ones and which ones I can check out so I can do research on and correct myself, I'm open for having that discussion or just creating a video on something as I do see it, and I see issues there. But from what I'm seeing right now, we don't have um, many forms of utility that will do multiple transactions within like one transaction. Because typically, if you have like say if you have something where it's just a simple buy of a product using Lunic as payment, okay, that's simple. You can do that, and you can give up 3%, and you can have a profit margin. If your profit margin is only 51%, you can have a profit margin of less than 50%. You can have a profit margin of less than 45%. And I understand it's not sustainable for the long term. However, the utility short term and the burn short term would be so much better, right? If we can see the supply burn down short term, and it would not live forever. This 3% burn doesn't have to live on until the end of time. People think that it's living on until the end of time. And I understand how 3% sounds a lot to you. But if you look at it, there's a ton of things that offer a 3% tax. Hell, I get taxed 6% on a lot of the items or products that I buy, right? That's a tax that's standard, a sales tax, and we're okay with that. And this is on every single purchase that we have. So why not get taxed on this purchase, on every purchase of any product, and then that goes to improving your overall position with Terra Luna Classic? I don't understand it. But IBC, I understand, is important. You know, creating a lot of utility is very, very important. I'm not saying it's not. And I'm not saying we have to choose one route or the other. I'm saying increase the burn tax, whatever you feel is comfortable, right? If you feel like a lot of DApps will not be able to survive off of 1%, then find a place to where it is comfortable, but higher than 0.2%, a 0.5%. Will that work? Let's get it to a point to where we can see more that's burning, because eventually this is going to go away. But the faster that we do this, the faster we get to the point that we want to, and the popularity window stays where it is, right? So if it gets to a point to where we get to the end of the popularity window and we see a ton of, or we see no supply or less supply that's out there and so much potential, well, now the popularity window is extended, and we're going to see popularity live on for Terra Luna Classic for years to come, rather than just a 2-year window trying to test out a bunch of different things. So I'm just saying that I think this should be increased, before all of this takes place. But I think we definitely can do both. IBC is not a bad idea. Obviously, it's a great idea. Creating utility is perfect, but that's not the only thing we should focus on. We need to focus on keeping things popular, not just by offering things that maybe people might not even utilize. So anyways, guys, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Again, if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I post a lot of stuff on Twitter, whatever's on my mind at the time. But I will, get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.